pretty happy with him. Yeah, does a great job with that stuff.
You bet.
All right, welcome to the Midwest Angler Podcast, episode number 12. I'm Matt
12.
Deitch, and I'm joined by Scott Sturman as always. Scott, how's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm not too bad tonight, except for more snow forecasted to hit us yet again.
Just got the driveway looking good, and
I could actually see it.
Yeah.
And here we're supposed to get possibility of up to 8 inches tonight, and actually they're talking about the worst could be this coming weekend.
Really?
Yeah, they're talking on Saturday and the Sunday. Or Saturday during the day. It's supposed to be a lot more again.
Well, good. I'll be on the interstate driving across South Dakota on Sunday.
Go figure.
So perfect.
Well, it doesn't matter, like we've talked about before on here. If you're going to drive across the state of South Dakota, you are going to run into some type of
You're going to get snow,
weather.
You're going to get rain, or you're going to get wind. You don't have it any other way.
You could start, no matter where you start, on the west end of South Dakota or the east end. It could be 90 degrees there. At some point, you will hit snow.
And you always have a crosswind or a headwind. You never have a tailwind.
It never helps you save any fuel.
Nope.
No, so some big news for the state of Iowa this weekend up here in northwest Iowa, getting a little cred for a new state record perch.
It's close to South Dakota. It couldn't come from any other spot in the state.
Maybe a bald eagle had picked it up from South Dakota and accidentally dropped it into an Iowa water.
Yep.
So kind of an invasive species then, I guess.
Yeah. 16 and a quarter inch, I believe, and 2 pounds, 15 and a half ounces or something like that.
The thing is just an absolute, I mean, they say football as everybody always talks about, but this thing is just, it's a pig.
I didn't realize, I never really stopped to realize until today. I was using a tape measure at work, and I looked at 16 and a quarter inches, and I was like, holy smokes.
Yeah.
That's a perch.
I couldn't imagine that thing. Well, we catch a 14-inch, what's considered a jumbo perch. We're ecstatic about that. This is 2 1/4 inches bigger than that.
They said the paperwork was filled out as private water.
Yeah, okay, private water, so we don't know where it was caught.
Yep, could be a farm pond, could be anything, but
yeah,
just makes me wonder if they had ever caught anything close to that caliber.
If they knew that caliber of fish was in this body of water. That'd be interesting to know that.
If they were bluegill fishing and all of a sudden, whoa!
We got a walleye on here. Oh, never mind. What is this thing?
Yep.
It's a mutant.
Yeah.
It looks like it. It's like Cables has it on their Facebook page because that's where it was brought in to be officially weighed. When they put that thing on the scale, it was like a teeter-totter. It's like its nose couldn't touch at the same time its tail couldn't. It was just kind of wobbling back and forth on that scale.
The back isn't straight, the back has just got a curve to it. There's no way that thing could swim through the water decent.
No, and just to think about like the perch that they're catching over there I mean, a lot of these perch that are being brought in to be cleaned are half the size of that one when you think about that.
Truly.
I mean, they're cleaning 8 to 9 inch perch, and this thing is 16 inches long.
True freak of nature.
It is. If you get a chance, go check it out. I mean, we don't see a lot of like state record fish around here sometimes, and when you have the chance to see it, it is pretty amazing.
Yep. Cables Trading Post.
Yep.
Kabeles. Not one that you would just spell easily, but look it up. It's worth a look.
Even the South Dakota and the North Dakota people can appreciate that one.
Yep.
It's kind of on that caliber of those Lake Cascade perch. Have you been hearing about the Lake Cascade? Some of them that they're putting out.
Yeah. Do you have any idea what the previous record was?
I don't. For Iowa, it couldn't have been too much.
14 inches, maybe.
I'm sure there's got to be some farm ponds or some other lakes over in kind of central Iowa that can hold some 14, 15s. Yeah. I mean, I've seen Kevin Paul with some big ones before, so there's somewhere over there that.
And Silver Lake, has.
You never know what could come out of Silver Lake. Like you said before, we trolling for walleyes during the summer. Every once in a while, we'll pop a 13-incher out of there, 12, 13 inches. So who knows? I mean, maybe some farm runoff or something got in there and mutated one into a 16 and a quarter inch beast.
Miracle grow.
That's what some perch grow.
Yeah.
No, so that's big news. Right now, too, it's a great time of the year to be out there buying some ice fishing gear.
Definitely.
There is some great deals.
Sunday I was up at Shields, and sweatshirts that are normally $59.99 are marked down to $29.99. The augers, most all of them are marked down.
All the terminal tack. I mean,
the rods and the
jigs
tackle. Yep, it's all
a lot of it is all,
half
I mean,
price.
50% off or
Yep,
even
or
better.
better.
Yeah, it's crazy right now. So there's still a lot of ice out there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's a ton of ice. We're going to be ice fishing for quite a while yet. So if you're looking for some new equipment, definitely go check out all the tackle retailers, the bait shops and everything, because they're starting to make room for their spring stuff, because as much as it doesn't seem like it's ever going to get here, it's going to be here pretty soon too.
Yep. I bought a new K-drill last week from Dakota Angler in Sioux Falls. Normally $189, got it for $155.
Oh, wow.
That's a good deal. And yeah, not to get off subject on sales, but I recently wrote an article that's up on the MidwestAngler.com
Great article.
about changing to cordless drill augers. I personally think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I love mine.
You know, what actually made me decide to write that article is I took a picture of that box that the K-drill came in, put it on Snapchat, and I had a buddy of mine kind of, you know, not argue with me, but kind of question me, like, why do you like them K-drills? You know, why would you go away from gas? Why wouldn't you go with a propane? There's no way I could go back to a propane or a gas or even one of the electric ones. If I have a project around the house, if I want to do something with a drill, I've got a drill. That thing is not welded to my auger for good.
Yeah, it's not just a one purpose thing. You can use it a lot of different places.
And right now at Campbell Supply,
Yeah.
you sent me that ad. My dad turned around and sent me the ad. The exact same drill, the DeWalt 996, one battery and a charger, $200. You pair that with a 6-inch K drill for $155 right now, and for
Less than $300,
yeah, I mean
or less than 400.
less than $400.
So I'm a PE teacher, not a
Yeah.
math teacher.
Yeah, less than $400 with tax. You got yourself a brand new auger, and you're not going to find that any. You know.
Oh no, it's a heck of a deal right now.
Yep.
So Campbell Supply, check that out. The Walt drills are on sale. I think the Milwaukee ones are too. I thought I saw.
That could be.
So, I mean, yeah, deals everywhere.
Yep.
It's a great time to buy.
Look at the bait shop's Facebook page. I just saw Stan's up in Okoboji posted a
Yeah,
bunch of
they had
stuff.
a
I think their
sale.
shacks, or Kevin Paul today wrote Clear Lake that their shacks and all their clam accessories and whatnot, 20%
Get out there and
off,
support those local bait shops.
Oh, definitely.
We're always looking. Everybody always wants to stop in there and know where the fish are biting, or try to contact their Facebook pages and all this stuff. But don't forget to stop in there and spend some of your money at those places as well.
When, you know, I was in Shields on Sunday, like I said, their K drills were still more expensive than what Dakota Angler
Yeah.
was up there. So just because Shields has got the, you know, the big inventory and whatnot, doesn't necessarily mean that the prices are better there.
Not always.
Nope.
So yeah, definitely go stop at all those places. Anything else that you saw up there that sparked your interest?
No, they already had the trolling motors out. They're
Yeah.
clearing way for open
Yeah,
water
I
fishing.
mean that's the nature of retail. They got to start selling that stuff, because along with that, not only are those deals going on, but now all the boat shows are starting to happen. So, I mean, they're full into spring, because it's going to be here before you know it, and you don't
yeah.
want to be sitting there waiting.
I know you are kind of excited for the
I
open
am.
water, but
I am. I don't get me wrong. I enjoy ice fishing, but yeah, I'm ready for open water.
that's good. That's why we make a good pair on this, because
Yeah.
I would much rather be out on the ice, and you'd much rather be out on the open water. And
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, there's something about open water that I just love. I just love being out there in the boat and making those long casts.
shorts and Crocs, you know, that's
Not Crocs, but definitely
Yeah.
shorts.
This year I'm going to get you in a pair of Crocs.
It's not going to happen. I don't want little polka dot
We're going to have
sunburns.
a bluegill jigging tournament.
And that's going to be like, if you beat me, I got to wear Crocs for a day.
Yep.
Well, then that means I'd have to buy a pair.
I've got pairs.
No, I'm not going to wear yours. Oh my God, I don't know. That's just
Who
one
knows
thing.
what's been in them
I'm not
Crocs?
going to put my feet in your Crocs.
Well, yeah, I guess you'll buy a pair, you'll wear them for a day, and you'll You'll start to realize how awesome they are.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I might use them for a fish marker. Tie a bunch of line around there and throw them out there.
No.
Then that way I can yell, "There's a croc in the water.
There's a croc.
Don't fish in that spot. There's crocodiles."
No.
So yeah, I'm ready for open water. It's the river here, and who knows when that's going to be fishable when that finally thaws out, because with all the snow they have up north of us and how much snow we have here, uh, that's the thing that sucks around this area is that the flooding.
Yep.
Hopefully we don't get a bad flood. Hopefully we can get a gradual melt and it doesn't all just melt right away.
Yep.
When I was out on the ice yesterday, there was a lot of snow on top of that ice.
Oh, yeah. Yep. How'd you do yesterday?
It was kind of a tough bite. I went over to Lake Pahoja. I kind of went to I'd forced myself to go fish a different part of the lake that I don't normally go to, just to try to find some fish. I knew I could have went to one of those spots that I normally go to and probably caught small fish, but I was looking for like the big ones that Pahoja produces, and I did manage to catch a few. I mean, marked quite a few fish, and I threw a lot at them, and they just didn't seem interested at times. But the ones I did catch, I mean, there was one that I caught that was over 9 inches for sure.
Yep.
Probably pushing 10.
Oh, that one you sent me a picture of it. I'm assuming that's probably the one. That was a
Yep.
nice fish. I always love the color of the bluegills over there.
Yeah.
Just a really gold color in the
Yeah,
winter.
they are kind of a different one.
Yeah.
And after you have them out of the hole for a while, out of the water for a while, it seems like they change colors again.
Yep.
It seems like they're kind of that golder color, and then when they come out, and it doesn't seem like they have much color to them until you like see a picture later on or after you had them for a while. It's just kind of like, oh, okay, those are kind of neat looking fish.
Yep. I'll never forget, probably 2-3 years ago, me and Eric went over there on a day that was just super cold, and I caught a really nice bluegill, and God, when it came out of the hole, it was just such a shiny gold color.
Mm-hmm.
It was just one of the cooler bluegills I've ever seen like that. Normally you always want the dark, the blues and the purples and the oranges and everything. And this was just such a gold color. It was just really cool. I took a picture of it, and it's still one of the cooler pictures I have of a bluegill, just with how neat of a color it was.
Yeah, they are different one over there. I heard that like on Saturday, I think it was that the bite was pretty good. I think Lance and Luke were over there. I think they said they were handing out bait.
You know what? I think I heard that.
And
yeah.
they saw a lot of nice bluegills being caught. So that was kind of cool that those guys were out there handing out bait to people just to get them to know that they got their bait machines around the area.
Yep. I don't think that they've said on Facebook where the third one's going yet. Not that I've seen.
The third location, I think they're going to put... Oh, no, we're not going to give it to you yet. We're going to let those guys do that.
I know where it's going.
Oh, we know. You guys out there in social media land don't know. We got insider information.
Insider information. Yep. No, but yeah, no, check those guys out. Junction 975 on the big corner here in Rock Rapids. And
L&L Bait.
L&L Bait. And then over at Lake Pahoja, right at the entrance shack on the south side there, they've got another machine. Good bait. I've been buying all my bait there so far this year. And yeah, go and support those guys.
Yeah, for sure. What else is all new?
Not much.
We had basketball this weekend. Didn't really
didn't
have
end
a
up.
chance.
Grady hurt his knee or something.
tasty.
Bad injury for.
Probably bowling up all those big bass a couple weekends ago that you guys are
That must have
catching.
been it. Yeah, but no, we sat out the basketball tournament on Saturday, and I guess that didn't really bother me any too much. Trip up to Coleman, South Dakota. Yeah, then we ended up going to a Blake Shelton concert that night. That was really a cool concert.
Did you enjoy him more or John Anderson?
John Anderson.
When I heard
John Anderson is my
I was like,
guy.
ooh, baby, John, a little 7-0 win.
I was making the joke that John Anderson wasn't opening up for Blake Shelton, that Blake Shelton was closing for John Anderson.
There we go. I never thought of it that way.
But it was actually a really cool concert. I know that this is not fishing related at all, but I'm going to quick tell you guys about this. Lauren Elena, and I did know some of her songs. I don't really know who she is or what, but when she started singing, I recognized some of the songs. She was actually the opener, and then throughout the show, then Blake came on right after Lauren Elena, and I suppose he probably went for 40 minutes, and then John Anderson came out. Played a few songs, they maybe played one together, then Blake went on for another, half hour. Then the Bellamy brothers came out.
Oh, the Bellamy
The Bellamy brothers.
Oh, yeah.
My mom didn't like them. She thought that they were a little too twangy, but that's my style. So
Come on, Laura.
Yeah.
I like the old Bellamy brothers.
yeah, and then Blake would play again for another half hour, and then Trace Adkins came on, and then they sung Hillbilly Bone together and whatnot.
There you go.
And then at the very end, all of them came out, sat out there and played some acoustic songs and Straight Tequila Night and Seminole Wind and swinging.
Just a swinging.
It was good. It was too good. Yeah.
That one wasn't. I didn't mind getting some Snapchats of that concert.
Yeah.
Usually I'm not a big fan of people on their phones for a whole concert, but that one I didn't mind seeing some video from.
That was a good concert. I'd go to that one again.
Even though Jig and Joe and Brenda went to that one.
Oh, I didn't see them there. We saw a lot of Rock Rapids people there, but we didn't
I tried to tell Mom just to keep it low key.
Yeah.
Don't be too wild. No.
You know what? I think I did see Joe. I think he was down in the front row with his shirt off.
That one surprised me with old Joe. Shout out to Joe. He finally found the podcast, so he's been listening to it, and it's been. Mom's like, "Can you turn that down over there?"
Hey, Joe, how you doing? No. So what do you got going this weekend? You gonna make her out coyote hunting?
I wanted to go coyote hunting tonight after this with the supermoon, but it's cloudy out there.
Oh, yeah.
Sat out last night a little bit. Had some howling at me, but they never came in. But I'll try hopefully I can get out on the ice somewhere this weekend, and been really trying to get some more video of fish.
Yeah. I've been thinking about that. We've got this YouTube channel with the podcast, and we need to sit down and make some videos and take the time to one of us, if we're recording, that means one of us isn't fishing, but I think we've proved enough to ourselves so far this year that
Well, that was kind of
we
like
could take 5 minutes
yesterday when I went, I made sure to get some B-roll, like of myself walking onto the ice, doing different things besides just fishing.
Yep.
Just to try to get some of that content that they're always talking about. So
that's the hard, it's easy once you're out there and you're on a bite, hey, stop, quick take a video of me releasing this fish. Quick take a video of me with, reeling in this fish. But the B-roll is what's really hard for everyone to remember to get.
Yeah, to take your time and just get those shots of you walking out onto the water or not walking on the water. Yeah. Well, maybe there might be some people that think they can when you get there. I like to picture myself in a tuxedo T-shirt.
Singing lead vocals for Leonard Skinner.
So, no, like walking out on the ice or like when you're backing your boat in.
Yep.
Just things like that. Just of you not fishing but out on the water. Or even like driving to the destination, like when we went over last weekend, I get in the four-wheeler coming out of the trailer.
Those were cool videos.
Four-wheeler going down onto the ice.
Yep.
So yeah, speaking of last weekend, thanks to Chad Loreth for being our guest.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
God, that was a lot of fun. Chad's a super awesome guy to hang out with, and and we met some other great guys, Tyler Evers and Colby and Logan and
his brother.
Lucas.
Yep. It was a good time fishing with those guys.
Yeah,
that's the great thing about fishing is we all got together and it was fishing, and then you being the social butterfly that you are, pretty soon we're over there talking to them, and the next thing you know, we're all talking to each other, making small talk, finding out what everybody is all about. And it was a good time.
Great fishermen. I saw that Evers and Colby won the stands bait.
Yep.
So. And actually, they accidentally weighed 11 fish.
Yeah.
And so the biggest fish out of their bag got disqualified.
But they still ended up winning.
And they still ended up winning.
And that was like a 0.86 pound bluegill, I think is what it was.
Yeah, it was a big bluegill. But yeah, I mean, and they obviously did not do this on purpose.
No,
this is
honest mistake.
Right. No one's gonna, hey, let's slide this extra bluegill in here and see if we can get away with it. Right. They knew, it was gonna.
It actually hurt them more than it.
Oh, definitely. And so, but yeah, then they still ended up winning it. Did you see that somebody got disqualified
At
down
the
at the
Yellow
Yellow Bass
Bass.
Bonanza?
The people that had the biggest fish. I'm not going to say what happened because I'm not clear on what happened with all of it, but the winners didn't get disqualified. It was
No.
the people that had the big fish of the tournament got disqualified for some reason.
Right, and granted, I'm taking the word of social media, but from what I read, it said they did not catch the fish.
Somebody else caught it and gave it to them.
Something like that, I think. And
That's crazy. That's the one thing you always. It sucks. I just don't know why people have to. You know, they probably weren't doing it intentionally to cheat, but they had to have known that. Well, this doesn't qualify.
right,
We have to catch the fish. Last year's people that won the tournament.
yeah. Well, last
got
year, or
in
the
big
year
trouble.
before,
Or,
right?
yeah, a couple
mean,
years ago, whatever
they
it was.
had caught a bunch of fish, I think, before
Forward,
and left
yeah.
them out there under the ice or something like that, and
It
went
did
back
sound
out there.
goofy
And yeah, and that's just the really hard part about tournaments. The second that starts getting in people's heads that there are cheaters out there
Yeah.
and whatever, then, somebody goes out and has a heck of a day and right away, oh, they must have cheated.
Yeah.
It sucks.
And I just don't understand why people are going to cheat because these days you're going to get caught.
You are. If more than one person knows it,
Yeah.
you're going to get caught because people talk.
People talk, and with social media, and a lot of these places you got to take lie detector tests, which is awesome. You're winning some big prizes.
Yeah,
So.
four-wheelers and,
Some places trucks, some places it's like $10,000 to win tournaments. I don't know why, thinking like you would be like, oh, hey, let's go out there and hide these fish just so we win. It's just like, what kind of a person are you to do something like that?
yeah,
Nobody that I want to fish with, that's for dang sure.
yeah. I think 99% of people can all be in agreement on this that has no place in fishing.
And the thing that always sucks with those people is they get caught after the fact, after the tournament is over, when nobody else is around. How would you like to be standing up there in front of 300 teams, and you're up there and you got to tell those 300 teams that we won, but we cheated to win? Yeah, there are probably going to be a few guys waiting for you out by your vehicle when
Yeah.
you get over there.
I bet they
But
don't do it
probably
again.
not. Probably not because the people, the
Yep.
respectable people are going to, it's probably other people that cheated. You out cheated us. We're going to
Yeah,
let's go to the parking lot.
Exactly. No. So
What do you got something pretty big coming up, a pretty big honor, and
I'm excited. This weekend, I'm going to be leaving on Thursday morning, heading out to the Black Hills. Going to be fishing Deerfield for the Hooked on Hardwater event. That's run with the Club for Boys in Rapid City, and I'll quick give you a little rundown of what it is. This was started by Craig Euler, Ice Team Pro out there in Rapid City. And what it is, the Club for Boys is like an after-school program, just a big help for underprivileged youth there in the city of Rapid City. And, they've got basketball gym and all sorts of stuff there. And, yeah, after-school program just keeps kids, from getting in trouble and whatnot. And what they do, Craig gets a bunch of people from Canada, Nebraska. There's a guy flying in from New York, I think Washington State, all over the United States. And he pairs 60 kids from the Club for Boys with 60 pro anglers. Now, there's actually 59 pro anglers going to be out there, and then there's this guy from Rock Rapids who happened to get the invite.
Oh, no.
So it's an awesome honor. I can't wait to get out there. In your head, you got this, like, oh man, me and this kid are just going to hit it off and it's going to be great. And, we're going to be buddies for life. And I hope it's like that. I really do. And, I hope we can catch fish. I hope that I'm good enough to get them on fish, to do the right stuff. And, obviously, the 60 guys aren't competing against anybody. So if somebody gets on the fish, everyone's going to get on the fish.
You're paired with one of the kids, and you guys are all kind of working together. Like, They used to have a banquet. They're not doing that anymore. They used to have a banquet on like Friday night, right?
Saturday
Or
night.
Saturday night.
Saturday morning at, I believe it's 8 o'clock. Craig wrote to all of us, said that he wants us all out on the water by 7 a.m., kind of drill some holes, get a bunch of the shacks set up, and then by 8 o'clock, the bus will come out with the 60 boys. You'll get paired up with your boy, and you'll immediately start fishing. Around noon, 1 o'clock, they're going to have lunch and whatnot, and then you say your see you laters, and they head back to Rapid. And then after that, the 60 pros that are out there are going to have a tournament amongst themselves for a trophy. And I think Craig had talked about some Vexilars being given away and whatnot. So
Maybe
hopefully it's flighted. Maybe
could,
number 60 will get a new FL28.
You could hand out some of these awesome Midwest Angler decals.
Yeah. No, but
when they're not looking to stick them on their snowmobiles or trailers.
Where'd that come from? No, but yeah, it's going to be great. I think there's going to be some awesome anglers out there. I hope I can learn from them, and just getting to sit down and eat with those guys and listen to the stories and whatnot. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope the weather holds out for us. It's looking pretty good for Saturday when the boys are coming out, a high of 28 and
good.
Not too much wind. So it'll be a perfect day to be out there, and yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I mean, definitely deserving of getting that call. And
I don't know about that.
Well, like we've talked about before too, is you love ice fishing. You carry yourself in a professional manner. You love getting kids out there. Now, don't get all teary-eyed on me and stuff like this.
All right, well, that's enough for building me up. And anyways,
but that's the definition of a true pro. It's not being on 30 pro staffs. It's not doing this and doing that and telling everybody how much of a pro you are. You don't run around and gloat. So, I mean, very well deserving.
Yeah. No, I think I've got a feeling that I'll be the only guy out there who's not on any pro staffs. But
you're on the Midwest Angler podcast.
Yeah,
pro staff.
Sponsored by LVO Manufacturing in Rock Rapids. I'm on their payroll. Looking forward to that, and so that'll be my weekend. We're gonna pre-fish a couple days before. Friday night we actually go down to the Club for Boys and meet our kid, and if their families want to come, I believe their families can come. I think we have a supper with them, kind of play some games and whatnot, and I think Clam and a couple other companies I think donate some gear and some hats and whatnot for the kids, and so then
for a lot of these guys, they've been paired up with the same kid for many years, haven't they?
Right. I think a lot of these guys, year after year they get the same kid. Now I don't know who I'll get. Maybe it's a young kid who's never done it before. I know that every year, just the way things go, people can't make it. Conflicts, whatever. So maybe I'll get a kid who has done it in previous years, but his pro couldn't make it out this year. I don't know, but
I think one of the cool things from that event was that picture from last year, is it, where that kid is standing in that line. He's got cookies in one hand. He's got that big rainbow trout tucked underneath of his other arm, saying that he's never ever going to let it go.
The story on that one, we actually, me and my wife last year ended up sitting at the same table as the pro who was paired with that kid. And I guess they kind of tried to talk him into letting it go, and he said, "I'm never letting this fish go." And he walked around the whole entire day with that rainbow trout draped over his arms, cookies in the other hand, and
living the life.
That is the life, right there.
That's a memory that he'll never forget. That's a memory that all those guys, you won't ever forget. I wasn't there, and I saw the picture, and I just think it's the coolest picture there is.
Yep. Yeah. So no, that'll be great. I'll say it again. I'm really looking forward to it. Thank Craig Euler for the opportunity, and hopefully it's something that I get to do in the future.
Forward, yeah.
Yep. So.
Yeah. Last weekend too, I forgot to mention this. We probably should take a moment of silence for you. We were fishing, broke your favorite rod. I hate to bring that up. I know
man.
you'd probably try to move on from that, but I don't know if I've ever seen you that depressed, that sad out there on the water or ice.
This rod is what really I would say
It
truly.
broke because it's caught so many fish.
I don't think that that's a lie. I truly
I
think.
just think that you've caught so many fish with that dang
I
thing.
would hate to know. I would hate to know how many fish that thing caught. And I've had that rod for 3 or 4 years. It's always my rod.
That was your green hornet.
It was. And it always has a black custom jigs and spins check eye jig on it, tipped with a waxworm or two. Like, that is the money rod. And yeah, Sunday I set the hook on a fish and just boom, what the heck happened there? And yeah, I look at my rod and I can obviously see it snapped halfway down, and I'm just like, what in the heck? I look down in the hole and the line is still sitting there. So I hand this fish up, and yeah, nice bluegill, not enough to snap a rod, but yeah,
Those powerful hook sets.
that rod just did its time, I guess. I set the hook rather hard, but my drag is always so light that whatever. But yeah, god dang it, that thing had zip ties around it holding on that reel, and like my fingernail just fit in it perfect. Like it just. Oh, I'll never be able to duplicate that rod, even though I have 4 other of the exact same rods. And I took the reel off and I stuck it on the exact same rod again, but it's not the same, Matt. It's not the same.
I know. I really thought how eventually the demise of it, how it was ever going to break, or anything of yours was going to break, because I just figured that Ramsey was going to somehow step on it accidentally.
Oh, I'd have killed
someday.
him. I would have killed him. It's up there. It's up there right next to the signed Jason Mitchell rod.
Yeah, it's up there on the
Wall of Fame. Yep, that's
up there where all the trophies and everything like that go.
Yeah, that was a tough day for me. Tough day, laying down a friend like that.
I thought we were going to have a, at least it wasn't a burial at sea. At least you didn't throw it down the hole.
Yeah, no, I knew that one was coming home. It got a lot of fish guts on it and a lot of waxworm guts and. No, but one last thing, unless you got something else.
We got to talk about fantasy bass fishing.
Fantasy bass fishing.
We
almost forget that?
We're 2 tournaments into this thing, and
it is fun.
It is, isn't it? Good it's a good time.
I'm doing terrible, but
trying to figure out like, what are these guys going to do? And everybody kind of learned their lesson this weekend of don't get excited after the first day.
Yeah.
I mean, I had. Gussie.
Gustafson,
I had
first
him
place
first
after day 1.
19 pounds. The second day he comes in with 2 fish for like 5 pounds, and it's like, yeah, that's usually how it goes. And of course, Slab Game Rick, he's leading the pack right now.
Yep. I'm gonna quick run you down on who we got in the standings. Slab Game Rick, Eric Sturman in first place. Matt Deitch, second place. Jeremy Kay. 4th place, Dan Teeslink. 5th place, Austin Van Voorst. 6th place, Dusty Ramsey. What a drip.
The Ramrod.
Yep. 7th place, yours truly. 8th place, BJ Van Briesen. 9th place, C. Nielsen. You know? Yeah. You know him?
I don't know if I know him.
C. Nielsen coming in 9th. Colby Van Beek. Then Micah Fries and N. Servati.
Something like that. I think like Nate Servati.
Nate Servati.
Something like that.
Yep. But yeah, so we got 12 guys in there. The bottom 4 did not have a team for the first week. So that's why they're in the bottom 4. Otherwise, they'd be well ahead of me because I am not doing very good. But
it changes. It's all about being consistent. Trying to have that consistent week in, week out. Trying to be in that, 1,100 to 1,200. If you can get up into 1,300 points for a tournament, you're setting yourself up pretty good.
Yep. Now, me and Jeremy Clausen, Dan Teeslink, we've talked about this. Spotted bass.
Yeah.
Is that it's a off breed of largemouth, or
they look similar to a largemouth. I think they're kind of a subspecies of a largemouth is what they are. They always say that they fight like harder than a smallmouth. Some people think that they fight harder than a smallmouth does.
Well, those people are wrong.
Well, I've never caught a spotted bass, so I would love to. I mean,
4 pounds is a
That's a big spotted
big
bass.
spot bass. Yeah.
If you catch like 3 pounders, usually like when they go to these tournaments, and there's length limits on some of these fish. Like the length limit on a spotted bass is like 12 inches, where a largemouth might have to be 14 or 15 inches for them to keep it. So they don't grow as big. I don't know the science behind it, why they don't, and everything like that. But I think Paul Mueller, that he ended up winning the tournament, and his last day he caught like a 5 pound, like 3 ounce or 4 ounce spot.
Okay.
And that's a giant spotted bass. Now out in California, you can catch some monster spotted bass like 6-7 pounds. But
Okay.
they say they're just mean. They're mean. They're a schooling fish, kind of like a smallmouth. When you catch one, when you're bringing it in, they're like, oh, there's like 3 or 4 with it. So
Okay.
that's another thing too with this fantasy bass fishing is all the new different, bass, FLW, now Major League Fishing, all the different companies that, tournament trails that are out there. There's just something about bass that I just love watching. And this Bass Live it's so cool. It used to be they didn't do Bass Live until like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of the tournament. But now they're doing the whole tournament, and they'll have like the commentary from those guys at certain like 2 different times during the day. But they have like Bass Live Mix now that goes the whole day. There's no commentary to it, but you can sit there and watch these pros fish. You just learn so much by watching that stuff. Like me, I put a post on Facebook about it. Like me being like a fishing nerd, fishing geek that I am, I could just sit there all day long for 3 or 4 hours watching somebody fish, and people be like, "Wow, what's so cool about that? What's fun about it?" But for me, it's just to like watch what they're doing and just kind of how they're approaching stuff.
Yeah. Is it Major League Fishing
Yeah.
that it's as many fish as you can catch, you weigh them?
Anything over 1 pound counts towards your total. So obviously you want to catch more fish. There's a lot of people that say like MLF stands for more little fish. Some of the people that were the bass tournaments, the BASS tournaments, and the FLW tournaments, it's the biggest 5 fish. You bring them in to weigh them in over a 4-day period of time.
I like that better.
I like that format of you got to go out there and you got to catch the big ones.
Right. A guy could post up on a spot where he can catch a bunch of little ones and just hammer little ones all day long and win the tournament. I like, something neat about big fish and,
and then
the weigh-ins and holding them big suckers up.
And just the heartache of it. The heartache of you come to that weigh-in is you need 15 pounds and 4 ounces to win, and the anticipation in it pops up there 15 pounds and 2 ounces, and it's just like you see one guy go and the other one just win $100,000.
Yep. Yeah, when they're sitting there talking with the guys at the weigh-ins, and he says something like, "Oh, you're in the top 10. I feel you got a pretty good chance," and he says, "Nah, I seen some of those guys with some bags of fish coming up, and they're looking pretty good."
Yep.
So,
and this tournament was fun compared to the first one when they were down in Florida, where guys are bringing in multiple big bags, like 30-pound bags, 5 fish for 30 pounds. I mean, there's some big ones in there. These are kind of fun. I used to not like these. I always I want to see them catch the biggest fish. But these tournaments are fun because day one's a prime example. The weights are so close, you can go from 60th place to the top 10 just like that because you just found the right fish. You found a school of 4-pounders and you caught 4 4-pounders or 5 4-pounders, and that gives you a 20-pound bag. And the day before you caught 14 pounds, you're not out of it. Boom, you jump up just a ton of space.
Yep, that is cool. I didn't think about it like that. I was kind of personally thinking that I didn't like those tournaments just because I like to see the bigger fish.
Yeah, I mean, you want to see guys holding up 10-pound bass and all this stuff, and that's cool, don't get me wrong. But then, that first tournament, those guys, you got like 5 guys that are in it. It's like, okay, I got to go out there and catch a 30-pound bag today.
Yep, you're in it till the end, even, yep.
I mean, a guy that's sitting in 20th place going into the last day could go out there and pull a 20-pound bag and put himself into contention to win the thing.
Yep.
So that's just what I like about those tournaments, is just the fact that all of a sudden a guy has that 4 or 5 pounder on, and it's just, you're watching him and you're just like, oh, is he going to land it? Is he going to land? Because in most of those tournament trails now, you can't use a net. You've got to land it by hand.
Now, is there something that it can't touch?
That's MLF. That's Major League Fishing.
Okay.
Like, it can't touch the carpet, or you get like a 2-minute penalty and things
Okay.
like that. But like bass, FLW, you can flip them up into the boat and everything.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it's...
And it's not too late to join.
No, you can
I mean,
always join. I mean,
Join it just for the fun of it. Yeah, you
and
probably...
You never know, we might start doing some weekly, like the weekly tournament contests.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
the person that finishes on top this week gets a cold snap.
I was going to say, we got some
outdoors
cold snap toothpicks here we could give
or
away.
something
You
like
know what?
that,
Let's start doing that.
Or the Midwest Angler Podcast decal.
Yeah. Speaking of those decals, if any of you guys want a decal, we've got a bunch of them. We've got big ones. We've got smaller ones.
So basically, we got Scott and Matt size
And
and Ramsey
ramrods.
size.
No, yeah, you guys, they're free. If anyone wants one, get a hold of me or Matt. Throw them on your car. Throw them on your...
Boat.
Throw them on whatever you want. We don't even care. Throw them on your neighbor's car. See
your
what
water
happens.
bottle. Yeah, I think that you and I talked about going and put some on your neighbor's house, didn't we?
That's not a bad idea. Troy Weiler? Oh, Jeremy K. We'll go throw one on Jeremy K's car.
We just got to get across the gate into that gated community over there to get one on his.
It's not easy over there. It's not easy. They got neighborhood watch and everything like that. So
No, other than that, other podcasts we always give shout outs. Some people have been giving us shout outs. It's nice of them. So go check out the Casting Deck podcast. They usually do a live every Monday night at 8:15 right in there. Fun bunch of guys to watch.
Wild.
They get wild, crazy. Those Canucks up there in Canada, they were talking about the Jets last night.
that
and-
Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, the Winnipeg Jets, and I always call them Losepeg, but as a Minnesota Wild fan, but I can't say anything right now because the Wild are doing absolutely terrible. So go check those guys out. Smackdown Outdoors podcast. Doug Glimmerveen, he has a great one there.
Not just fishing there.
No,
that's an
all outdoors
podcast.
kinda covers
Coyote
everything.
hunting, deer hunting, everything. So
Yep.
if you're an all around outdoorsman, that's a good one to listen to.
Yeah, the Broken Line podcast is another one out of northern Minnesota. Those guys up there in Bemidji have a great show. They've been going for a few seasons now. Got a lot of great episodes. So go back, check those guys out. Yeah, like they always say, we're all in this together. We're trying to
Yep.
get this
Yeah,
outdoor podcast thing going. So
Yeah, we do one podcast a week. I know, everyone's got more time than 30, 40 minutes that we do. Go listen to them all, and yeah, tell them we sent you.
yeah, that's right.
So, all right.
Other than that, no,
Yeah.
good to go. Have
See
fun
ya.
this weekend.
You